Very weird.
T3 Media.
All right. So, real fast, what was Monolith about? And who starred in it? Real fast, real quick.
The girl from Evil Dead Rise starred in it. Sorry, I can't remember her name.
Lily Sullivan. Lily Sullivan.
Lily Sullivan. And just real quick, we'll just hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up. Monolith, the plot. So Monolith was while traveling to salvage her career, a disgraced journalist begins investigating a strange conspiracy theory. However, as the trial leads uncomfortably close to home, she's left to grapple with the lies at the heart of her own story. That's the synopsis that's read here on Google. That's not so a disgraced podcaster starts to investigate a story that has to do with some kind of like these black bricks that are popping up all over the world that people are getting and having strange things happen to them. So she calls these people and she investigates where these bricks are, where they're coming from, and why people are experiencing these phenomena. And then as she's investigating these items, things start to get weird for her. That's basically the plot of the movie. So I'll start with Tyler. What was your thoughts on this movie? Be as candid as you want to be. To brutal honesty. What do you got?
I wasted $6.99 on Amazon Prime.
I did too, and I didn't even finish watching.
Go ahead. What's your thoughts, Tyler?
Okay, so I mean,
for me,
at first I was really intrigued. I love a mystery, and I love the aha moment at the end. But it just got so like drawn out and like with no real resolution that I just felt like I wasted so much time. It was a little bit mysterious in the beginning for a time there. I was like, ooh, what are these bricks? Like, what is it? Why do people get them? And then you just really don't get much from the movie. That it just, I didn't, yeah, I don't know. I don't have words. And then the spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, mute your speakers or something for 5 seconds. But in the end, the outcome we get is there's an alien, and I don't get the ending. I don't get it. I hate it. Didn't like it. Well, next, someone else.
So it's okay. So basically, what I got from this movie reminded me, or what they were trying to do with this movie reminded me of a Ryan Reynolds movie called Buried. I don't know if you guys ever seen Buried.
I have, yeah.
It was a movie, a contractor who was working overseas in Iraq was in a convoy and got attacked, and then he got captured by one of the Iraqi locals, and he got buried alive. He was buried alive in a grave and given a cell phone. And when he woke up, he realized that he was buried. He had the phone to call out. He called the phone number that was only programmed into the phone was to the guy who buried him. And the guy was like, basically what the premise was, give me money, or find a way to give me money, and I'll let you out. And the whole movie was only focused on Ryan Reynolds. It was just him in the box. So imagine watching a whole movie of being claustrophobic in a box, stuck with Ryan Reynolds, right? You would think that'd be boring as hell, but the way they did it, they made it so compelling. They made it so intriguing, and the tension behind it. I was captivated. I mean, me personally, I watched that movie for the first time in Iraq when I was working overseas for the damn military. I was out there when I watched this movie. That's why this movie, freaked me out so much, because I was like, I hope I never get I was like, just end me. Don't do that to me. Yeah. But I was like, okay, this movie is like that, because Lily, what's her name again? Lily
Sullivan.
Yeah, it's only focused on her.
She's a one character. She's the only
character. And even when they did flashbacks, as she's doing her investigations of these bricks and things like that, you would think when she does flashbacks that we would see other people, but we never do. And I was like, with the way they were doing it, I was like, it was so boring.
it felt like there was so much missing. I didn't even finish watching it, and I was just like, I hope it gets better. But then you were like, don't even.
She's like, I hope it gets
Don't even
better.
have to-
She's like, I hope it gets better. Click.
And you were no, you were like, don't even bother. I was like,
it
does
did.
it?
Here's the problem, and I remember texting Tyler after I finished it. It did get better in the last 5 minutes of the movie.
I heard somebody say the last 15 minutes was like
What the whole movie should have
whole
been.
movie. The whole movie, yeah.
Or at least the second. They wasted so much time on her investigation, which was so redundant. Let me call this person and hear their weird story with these bricks. Oh, okay, that was weird. Now let me call this other guy. Oh, did you have a weird situation with these bricks? Oh, okay, let me call this. I'm like, how many people you got to call before you believe that these bricks are fucking weird? So
I heard really slow paced, and if you're not into that type of movie, then it's not going to be for you. And I was like, I was definitely not for me.
I could tell that what they were trying to do, they were trying to make it like a psychological, weird, like kind of a movie that makes you go, oh my God, what's this all about? But after a while, it's like you don't even care. Even when you see the damn brick, you're like, that's it? That's
I didn't even see the brick.
you got just, you know what? Go back, watch the movie if you still have it. Did it?
Yeah, I do, but I don't think I want to.
No. Go back, fast forward it all the way to the last 15 minutes.
I'll do it. You know what? I'm gonna do that.
Fast forward to the last 20 or 15 minutes. Okay. When the brick makes its first appearance, because that's what the whole movie should have been. It should have been her fighting or trying to stop what was actually coming from it. And it was like we didn't. It was anticlimactic in my opinion. I was like, that's it.
But I did like the fact. The only thing that I liked when I was like, oh shit.
The throw up.
Remember how everybody would say, she'd be like, how did you get the brick? Like, did someone mail it to you? Did it just show up? And everybody's like, I want to talk about it. And then we find out how people get the bricks. They like pull it out of their mouth.
It came from them within them. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So basically, whatever these entities are that are invading or whatever, because she was figuring it out and learning the truth, she became a target. So now we have to give her one of these bricks because she knows too much or she's figuring too much out. And I'm like, okay, that's a good premise. Okay, that's cool. But the way they executed it was just so boring. Mm-hmm. And I was like that. When that last 5 minutes came, I was like, oh shit, okay, all right, fight. And I was like, oh, that's it. Credits. Oh.
Yeah.
It's like the whole movie could have been an email, and then the last 5 minutes they could have.
Yes. I also said that. Okay, the fact that the camera was only focused on one actor was fine, but when the only time it cut away from her was when she was listening to people's stories on how they got exposed to the brick or some weird phenomenon that happened when the brick showed up. Like one person talked about how his father became possessed by it and he started acting weird and it was a birthday and he was looking at the birthday cake and it was and he was acting weird ever since that birthday or whatever. And during the flashback, they only showed a fucking cake with candle. That's it. No people.
Yeah.
Just a cake. A camera slowly panning into a cake as he's telling his story. I'm like,
yeah.
The flashbacks could have showed people. I'm like, show some. Another person was talking about weird shit that was happening in her office. And then when we see the office, it's just papers blowing in the wind. I'm like, really? Cake and wind? What the fuck is this?
Yeah, it was silly.
It was the silliest shit. I'm like, this is the same woman that was kicking so much ass in what's the movie called? Evil Dead.
Dead. Mm-hmm. But was it
rated
on purpose?
Say that again.
What?
No, what'd you say?
Did they do it on purpose where they didn't want to show anybody? Was it like a budget thing, or that was what they wanted to do? It's like not show anybody at all.
Maybe they're like that. They wanted to accomplish making a movie with only one person,
like a one character movie.
Do it,
you know what? I think Itzy's onto something. Like we don't have the money for a proper flashback.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe they're trying to save money on people, and they're like, let's just let people think that it's for a reason. No budget.
It's like He's like, what? Can we hire some extras to do this? No, because that would cost extra.
And what year was this film? Because I heard it was filmed in 2022 or 2021.
It's possible.
I don't know.
It's movie.
Somebody
A
was
lot
like-
of movies do get shelved for a long time and then released later.
I heard somebody say that it felt like a pandemic movie because like literally there was like nobody around at all.
Mhm.
And they were like, was it filmed during the pandemic? Because there was
Oh.
oh,
Ooh. Okay, Tyler. If this
What?
movie would have came out in the middle of the pandemic, do you think you would have had a better time with it?
No.
I tried.
I think I would have gave it a shot. I think I would have gave it a shot, but now it's too late. I mean,
I
It's
think, or if the premise was about a pandemic or something like that, maybe that would have been better. But
Yeah.
I think if it would have came out in 2021, maybe like at the, something like not 2021, yeah, 2021. Like at the tail end of the pandemic or in the middle of the pandemic, I think if they would have marketed it like that, the fact she's alone, nobody's around her, things like, and we were all feeling that, it might have boosted some interest in it. And we were all forced to watch movies from home anyway.
yeah, I think so too.
I think that would have been.
That's fine.
I think it would have did better for that movie. But Tyler was like, "No, fuck that. Trash is trash."
I feel like
the
they lost their
pandemic.
They lost the opportunity because they didn't do that, and it's too late now.
So what do you guys rate it?
And by the way, I've abandoned the letter grade, so if it's like whatever, a 1 out of 5 or whatever you want to give it, like whatever your point.
Weren't y'all doing that before, and then y'all went to the letters, and then
No, I personally always did letter. Anyway, what ranking do you give it? What score do you give it?
well, I didn't finish watching it, so it's
So
like I can't really.
one.
What I watched is like, oh, a 1, because I kind of quit at it. So, yeah,
What'd you give it?
a 1.
A
I didn't even.
1?
Oh, wait, one is good. One is good, or one is bad.
One is bad.
Oh, yeah. Well, what I watched, because I ended up not even finishing it.
Yeah,
So
she didn't even finish it. So
I give it a 1.5.
1.5.
and you watched the whole thing. Oh,
I gave it a 1.5 too, because based on the like that last, I gave it that 0.5 for the potential of that last 5 minutes.
yeah.
That's where that 0.5 came from. But no, it was a waste of time. Joy was sitting right next to me as I watched it, and I was gonna watch it by myself, but she just happened to sit next to me, and we watched it. And after 5 minutes, all of a sudden her phone came out. She was like, all of a sudden I could hear TikTok going off in the background. It's just like, no.
This is
I
the
was
same
like,
thing that happened to me. Like I couldn't. I was struggling.
I
was
couldn't
struggling.
focus on this. Yeah, it was killing me how bad it was getting. It just kept getting progressively worse. Let me see if this works. Hold on one second. Nope, it's still not working. There we go.
Remember to like this video, become a subscriber, and share. This really does help us out. If you would like to watch more from us from T3 Media Studio, click here or here. Thanks for watching. Stop being NC-17.